Vision. Oh. Well, I guess this deployment. Eh. The
And
one. Go ahead.
once again, I get Wordstone Rush. I don't think I've ever. That's actually one of the objectives that I've rarely completed, even in matches against the AI.
Really?
Yeah, just because it's well, sometimes I have. It really comes down to if the wordstone's super spread out, it can be really hard to get because generally speaking, spreading guys out does not go very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, if all the wordstones clumped up in an area, it can actually be easy to get. But
Marked for death has always been difficult for me, just because getting the right guy is hard.
yeah, because really, when it comes down to once the fight starts, you're not worrying so much about okay, I need to take out this guy and that guy. It's more about taking out whoever is the biggest threat.
Exactly. Yeah, wow, you guys move fast. Of course, everyone moves faster than I do in this. Am I the one that's scattered?
Looks like, and it looks like you're not gonna. Yeah, you're not gonna. Yeah, the scattered deployment also means you don't actually get to choose where you deploy, which also sucks.
Holy hell, I am all over. Okay. I don't know. I guess I need to have everyone group up. Let's see. All right, onward. Oh, you aren't Adolf anymore. I just made myself sad. Adolf died as a price of the last abandonment. Yeah. So now I've got the brand new, fresh-faced, beautiful young man named Cherubale.
It's actually going to be interesting.
There are times I wonder if these cultists pick their own names. You know, I was born a Bob, but I like Cherubale more. Yeah. It also helps if Lum can talk.
I could definitely see where they would want to pick their own names. You know, sometimes your names aren't. You know, if you're going to be a cultist, you want to having a good intimidating name. I'm sure is really helpful.
Yeah.
So
it helps with your street cred too.
Yeah. So you know, a Bob or a Steve. It's just not as intimidating.
Yeah, Steves aren't frightening. You know, one of my best friends is named Steve, and he is not remotely scary. I mean, he's 6'7", and he has a stern face if he feels like having it. But the moment he opens his mouth, he's just a giant puppy dog.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The only time you're afraid of him is when he trips and he's near you.
Guess we're just gonna go with this until I find out where you are.
I'm nowhere. Stop looking for me.
Well, no luck so far, but we are going to keep looking for you.
I am the shadow in the night. Go away. I'm gonna have to spend a couple turns just getting everyone together again. I can't see anyone around me, and I get to listen to the wind near me just howl. I'm in my own personal horror movie.
Yeah, but I think some of your guys would be the killer in the horror movie.
Yeah. Some of my guys, they're the reason you're trying to run away.
It's kind of like it's kind of the inverse of a horror film, where it's from the perspective of the killer. It just follows the killer around the entire time.
That'd be an interesting film to watch. I'm sure there's a film like that somewhere. I just need to go look for it.
Yeah, the only one that comes to mind kind of like that would be Scream.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly that, but it's kind of, I guess, in that kind of vein where it's... I mean, really, Scream is kind of a, I guess, spoof homage of horror films.
I've never actually seen Scream. I've seen Scary Movie, so when you say spoof, I think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why did my frame rate drop? All I did was look at my map for a moment. Calm down. There we go. I really need to upgrade my machine.
I'm with you there. It's actually kind of funny. I'm good on everything except my video card. I need to get a new graphics card. It's quite old.
I need to get a new graphics card, and I'd like a new cooling system, just because my computer every now and again has issues with overheating. Oh, stop that. No traps. I mean, I didn't trip anything. You be quiet. You don't know what I'm planning. Why is it this one spot my frame rate drops? Oh well, my computer tends to overheat. I would like to get some more memory. I've got 1 terabyte on my computer, but I need more. I'm running out of space.
Yeah, I've got two separate hard drives, which are actually I technically have 3 hard drives, but I two of them are 1 terabyte, and I think one of them's like half a terabyte, or give or take. And yeah. I'm almost out of room. So yeah, that's.
I actually had Braskus build my computer. He's the one who picked all the parts and built them. I just gave him a budget. And when he told me, asked me, do you want 1 terabyte? I went, sure. I'm never going to use it all, but sure. I was so wrong.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those really weird things where, back 10 years ago, you're like, 1 terabyte? That sounds ridiculous, how much that was back then for the average person. I'm sure they probably had terabyte hard drives back, 10 years ago, but almost no one's going to have them. But it's one of those things that now it's like 2 terabytes. Yeah, I almost have both of them filled. So,
yep.
Oops.
My Taff and I, we have an external hard drive that we've dedicated entirely to just all of our YouTube stuff. And what we're trying to do is turn my machine into the game machine and hers into the actual editing machine. So we'll go ahead, do all the recording on mine, move it to the hard drive, move it over, but there are times that doesn't work so well. In all honesty, I just got sick and tired of every time we recorded a new game on a different computer having to unhook everything I had and move it over. And it was just bad.
Oh. Okay.
That's not a good sound. You didn't see nothing.
Well, I still haven't made contact with you, but it's always interesting. I didn't know that the level was gonna have a big split, like a level drop off.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize that initially. So now looking at it, that's interesting. And that makes things interesting.
It does. And as someone who has fought on this level before and had units on either side of the drop-off, it gets hectic.
Yes. I've had that in a match, not in one of the league matches, but it was in just a friendly practice match, and I had that same situation. I had about half my guys on one level, half of them on the other, and you can imagine how that went. The half that was on the top level, where the enemy were all of the enemy were did not last particularly long.
No. You know, I've mentioned this before, and part of it's just because I'm bad at... I'm not a good aggressive player. I think I've said that in every video I've done so far. Oh, hi there! Go away!
Hello!
You don't see nothing.
So you are that away. Okay, that's good to know.
But I hate it when it splits me up into 2 or 3 groups and says, look, you're flanking the enemy. You have an advantage. No, I don't.
Okay. No, I can't think of any situation in Mordheim where being split up is ever a good idea. Like,
yeah.
It's just... It reminds me a lot of, I suppose, like XCOM. And I think this kind of probably applies to any kind of turn-based game like this, or XCOM, or anything like it. Mm-hmm. It's generally just always going to be a better idea to have everyone together, because as soon as you have one, guys that are split up, all it takes is the entire enemy force to show up on and attack one group, and you're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're by yourself, it's just not happy fun times. Nope. Stop that. And why are we at 20 frames per second? Would you stop that? Go up. Seriously, dude.
Are you having problems climbing?
No. Shut up.
Yeah, I've had several occasions where it's like a 75% chance to climb, fail. 75% chance to climb again, fail.
The chance wasn't that high for me. But when I fail 3 or 4 times in a row, chance-based games, I have a love and hate relationship with them. Mostly hate.
Yeah. I definitely feel you there. It's the randomness is what makes it fun, and also makes you rip your hair out.
Yeah. And I have such a reputation with my personal gaming group for bad luck that it's like, on the one hand, yeah, bad luck isn't a thing. No one's cursed by bad luck. On the other hand,
sure.
On the other hand, we always make sure I go first, because if something bad is going to happen, it's going to be to me.
Mm-hmm. So they always send you into the room first? Clear for traps?
Yep. Oh boy. I have played the Dungeons and the Dragons, and it has ended extremely poorly for me. I don't play fighters, because I miss too often.
So I'm actually trying to think in D&D.
Oh God!
What would be? Whoa! I didn't even see you there.
Hello? Yes, you did.
Well, I mean, I'm glad my guy did. I mean, he's on top of it. He's on top of things. Yeah, hold on. Is there a way to go?
So, anywho, in D&D, you were saying?
I'm trying to think. Is there any class that would be the most optimal for, in terms of like having being fail-safe or like fail-proof of not having to rely on making rolls or not?
I always stuck with spellcasters, um, because they did have quite a few things that weren't as based on rolls. Now,
Mm-hmm.
for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, in order to balance it out a bit, the spellcaster does do a lot more rolling now, which I don't like. But
I can imagine
with
why.
3.5 and Pathfinder, which
Mm-hmm.
is what I play a lot of, yeah, if you're a spellcaster, at that point you're more dealing with the enemy making rolls than you.
Yeah.
And that I can cope with.
Yeah, I think I told, I don't recall if I told this story in one of the other league matches, because I know I told it recently, but I think it was with a new game group. We were going around telling stories about, terrible luck and stuff. And there was one match. It was in a Pathfinder game. I was running. I think it was like a year ago, and we had one session that we called it the night, like the night of eternal ones, because we had so many natural ones. And the funniest thing though is, it wasn't just the players or me. It was everyone. Like when I was rolling for just NPC allies that they had, there were a couple situations they had some allies with them. They rolled a bunch of ones. For the enemies rolling ones, it was just everyone, just non-stop ones all night long. It was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, well, so for a little while, I'm sure you've heard of it. There's the crit deck, where if you roll a natural 1, something bad happens. If you
Mm-hmm.
roll a natural 20 on an attack, something bad happens to the enemy. No cap, not right now. We used to use that, but then we realized it got us killed. But yeah, in general, stop shooting me. We'll go ahead and we'll try. The DM will say, okay, what do you want to go do? And I will, of course, pick the number one option that picks enemies. Even if it's sit on my hands and do nothing, that's the thing that attracts enemies. Like, either because of the adventure path that we're following, stop shooting me, you asshole, or because the DM has rolled a die to see which group it attacks, and lo and behold, I'm the one who will get attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I gotta have a better chance than that. 39% chance is not good. I guess I'll shoot you again.
Yeah, I need to get my captain out of here. He's not in the best of spots.
I'm okay with that. He can stay there.
Yeah, I'm not sold on it. I think I want a place with a better view. Wow, you have a guy up there, and he made this. Wow.
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed by that, honestly. Stop it!
Hey.
Really getting tired of that.
Well, there's gonna be plenty more where that came from. That's my entire warband.
Yeah. I remember Braskus telling me about it, and it was a very interesting concept. I like the idea of it.
Mm-hmm. It's very effective now. When we're towards the end of the third round in the league, I'm getting to the point where it's actually very effective. But I think early on, it's a lot harder for it to actually do well, particularly against some of the other warbands. I think it doesn't match up too well against really any of the other warbands early on. But then again, that could just be my own failure at just being terrible.
Oh, no one's bad at being terrible. Everyone has a gift.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I can see what you would mean there. And you're going to shoot me, aren't you? Yep. My concern, and this is why when we do... Fuck off! This is why when we do Season 2, I really want to do it at a higher warband rank.
Yep.
I don't feel that, oh, god damn it.
Yes.
I don't feel that ranks 0 through 2 are really a good way to build a character, to build a warband.
I definitely agree with you there. It's very much in kind of the same way of, just talking about D&D. I feel it's kind of similar to that, where if you're talking about like coming up with a build, it's pretty much always gonna. Wow, I'm surprised I hit that. That was not a very good chance.
Yeah, jeez.
But it's sort of in like D&D or any kind of role-playing game, I guess, where like if you're coming up with a build, you're not gonna be coming up with a build at level 1, because that's it's nonsensical. Like it's gonna be level 5. Like in Pathfinder, usually I see like the lowest it usually is like level 5, and I see a lot of builds that are kind of assume that it's like level 10 or higher. So I think it very much applies here with Mordheim. You're gonna need, and I agree with you. I really hope that for Season 2, which I think from what everyone has been saying, I think most of us kind of have similar thoughts on it, but it's definitely gonna be.
Stop missing. Continue.
I just have to say, my guy with having the arrow straight through his head.
He's doing awfully well for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right now it's too generic. It's not so much really clever planning and positioning, although it does help, and I'm not trying to take away from the victories of the other players. It's luck and chance have a lot more to do with it.
Yeah, and I think a big part of that is the lack of skills. Because even like if you look at Game Night, who is like way ahead than the majority of the rest of the other people in the league, even with him, most of his characters don't have any skills. And he might have one or two people who have one skill on them, I think. I don't think he has anybody who's gotten 2 skills on it. And it's not because you don't have the skill points. Like, for me, all of my ranged guys all have skill points. I just don't have the money because it's like 180 or something gold just for a single skill. So it's...
And considering how we have to do the Weirdstone shipments and whatnot, that's not really feasible in a competitive nature like this.
Yeah, it really isn't, and it would be great if you could turn the shipments off. That would really make just competitive play. I mean, that would really make competitive play viable. I mean, obviously there's still issues with desyncs and stuff like that, but hopefully all those kind of like bugs will be fixed out. But in terms of mechanics, the Weirdstone shipment is kind of still a problem.
Yeah.
Just purely for...
Ow.
Don't worry, there's more where that came from.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I've kind of just consigned myself to my fate. Like...
Yeah, it was... I did kind of get the jump on you.
And I didn't handle my first few matches very well. And so that's just kind of built failure upon failure. So now I'm just kind of like, well, if I hurt someone, cool.
Well, I will say that I was very much in a similar boat starting out with the league. I deserved every loss. I mean, I've deserved every loss I've had for the entirety of the league, and I kind of didn't deserve the one win I've got so far. But it was, yeah, I definitely feel you there. I will say I definitely feel like I've improved a lot over the league. Though even then, I think honestly, the first 2 rounds, I didn't really learn my lesson. Like, it took 2 rounds for me to really start to, like, be like, okay, you know, I gotta stop splitting up. You know, splitting up really was not working. And I don't know why, but for some reason, every time I would tell myself before a match, I'm not gonna split up this match. And then it would be like, yeah, but there's, like, a really cool position over there I want to take.
Yeah, I've had to learn to stop that as well. And it's part of my issue is that I'm too used to fighting against the AI.
Mm-hmm.
So certain behaviors, it's just fine against AI. Stop it, you fucker. But against other players, it's not nearly as effective. I hurt someone!
Oh.
I'm okay with this.
I'm a little bit worried. Like, it would really suck if he dies because he's my actual good levels up Youngblood. I didn't actually want him to be the one to get engaged right off.
Oh.
I would have rather it be the other guy, but I didn't know you were... I didn't know that guy was right around at the end of the building that just... The guy you're on right now who just finished him off. I don't...
He's only... Well, you know what? I'll close the distance.
Oh, no.
It occurs to me that since you shoot at me the entire time, staying back is a bad idea.
If you can start tying up my range guys, that's definitely a problem for me. Another issue is I'm also my own worst enemy. I'm sure Braskus. I'm sure you've heard about the my match against Braskus in round 2. That was kind of awful.
I have not. No.
Oh well, so it was really down to the wire. We were both like one guy left from dropping below our route threshold.
Yeah.
And this entire time for that match, the fight had been happening like right in front of Braskus's wagon. And I, in my eternal stupidity, was thinking, okay, how am I going to deal with, I need to just take down one more guy, and that will make him have to do a route test. He might pass it, but at least it's something.
Yeah.
I had a guy who was completely free, literally 2 meters away from his idol, and I completely forgot that the idol even existed. Oh wow. Okay, that's a lot of arrows in that guy.
He has 11 hit points left out of 153.
Wow, that's
He's a determined motherfucker. I'll give him that much.
Yeah, you gotta give him props. He doesn't want to go down easy.
I'm taking a good look at him now, and he's making me giggle.
Yeah, that's I think it was against Big Mook. I think it was the first match I had against Big Mook. We each, because we both were human mercenaries, we both had a decent number of archers, and by the end of the match, we had a lot of both of our guys, on both sides, guys of both of ours, I should say. Man, I forgot how to talk English. Wow. We both had a lot of guys who were pin cushions by the end of that.
Yeah.
And it's also just funny when it's okay, you got arrows in your head, multiple arrows coming in from both sides.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, what am I thinking? Oh, right, but about your idol story, that doesn't necessarily surprise me. It's like I said about fighting against AI and people. I'm not used to fighting against people. I don't get to get to the enemy's idol very often against AI.
Same
it's
here.
just, it's a bitch and a half to do. I don't want to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of with you. I wouldn't even think, oh, I wish I could get a little closer to you.
Well, and going along with what you said, another thing I had is in my match against David, he actually stole my idol because I didn't really guard it. Because another thing, like you said, against the AI, I almost never think about guarding my idol. It's just against the AI, they so rarely ever actually make it to there or even try and go for it. But against human opponents, particularly if they know what they're doing and have a plan, like David did. He sent one, and I mean, he's Skaven too, so his guys are ridiculously fast. He sent one of his guys just in a huge loop around the edge of the map, straight for my idol, and I didn't have anyone anywhere nearby it to even guard against it. And then it's like, your idol has been stolen. And I'm like, hey, hold on. Give that back. Oh,
God damn it. You're not supposed to make that check.
Here we go. I'm going to shank you now.
Ow. Well, shit.
And then we're going to hope we can dodge.
Oh, don't kill anyone. Don't kill anyone.
Well, I'm in a target-rich environment.
No, you're not. Horatio has felt compassion enter his heart, and now he sees these people, and he sees them as brothers. All right, was it Cain who killed his brother Abel? I was never good about that. Cain, according to Taff.
Yeah.
God damn it, Cain. You're no longer Horatio, you're Cain.
There we go. Wow.
Ow.
I'm sorry, this is a big deal for me. This is the second match I've won in the entire league.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, and it only took new players coming. And like, I honestly, I don't, if it weren't for you and David, and I lost against David too, if it weren't for you guys coming in, I'm pretty sure I would not have won another match for the entire rest of this league.
Well, it's something to try again later on, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully season 2 will work out. And
yep. All right. Well, let's go ahead.
Also, I want to point out that my warband is particularly good against warriors against chaos, the chaos warband. Like the ranged heavy really matches up well, and this was in fact last week my match against Braskus was very close because again my warband just matches really up against the chaos warband I have.
That makes sense. Chaos needs pretty hard to get in close.
Yeah, and also kind of like what you were saying with low level warbands, chaos, because it's one of those things that chaos has, like you said, chaos have to rely on getting in close. So they kind of need to be tanky, but early on, even like their heroes are not particularly tanky.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of health starting off with, so that can definitely be challenging. I mean, I definitely would not want to try and play chaos.
Well, my Doomweaver died.
Oh, I am so sorry.
It's okay. Honestly, I was waiting for him to die because he had already lost an arm. He had some other permanent injury that I can't remember what it was. He had been hurt quite a few times.
This is particularly like awful for me because I have had basically 0 serious injuries to any of my important people or anyone that matters. Like the only guys I've had who've been injured were like brand new, no experienced whatsoever guys who just their job was to die.
Mm-hmm.
And man, well, good game and best of luck in the rest of the round.
Thank you.
Again, kind of like what we mentioned earlier, it's a little kind of sucks because this round's going to be over very soon, and this is the end of this season due to all of the issues with desyncs in the band. And that's another thing. I don't know why, and this is I haven't had any. I haven't had a disconnect or I had one desync against David, but that was it, and even then it didn't make a difference. Neither of us, it resolved itself basically. And but with you and because you had to abandon the match. Was it last week?
Yeah.
So I mean, it really has screwed over people who otherwise would not be in so bad off, like Braskus in particular. just got screwed up, down repeatedly.
Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, with Witch Hunters coming out, they'll get it all sorted.
Hopefully.
Do we know when the Witch Hunters are supposed to be a thing? I looked online because I'm actively interested in them, but I couldn't find any word about them.
I haven't heard anything about a date either, so...
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
But good game, and as I said, best of luck for the rest of the... How many matches are... I guess there's only...
After this one, 2 more.
Yeah, 2, so... Who do you have left to face, if you know?
My next person to go up against is Game Night.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Or pieces,
yeah, that's
probably
the latter.
Yeah.
And after that, I need to go up against David. So...
Well, best of luck in both of those, particularly against Game Night.
I hope every bit.
For my sake, since I don't get to fight him again because I've already played him for round 3, kill Peggy.
Kill Peggy.
Kill Peggy. I took her leg. I couldn't take the rest of her. So if someone can kill Peggy before the end of the season,
I will even make sure to say Darin says hello.